Now let's take a look at some phrases and expressions that help us to describe states of being or situations that we might find ourselves in. Yeah? Okay, so let's start with some very, very simple expressions. To be in favour of something or to be in demand. Now, if you are in favour of something, that generally means you agree. You think it is a good idea, so you are in favour. If something is in demand, it could be a person or it could be a thing. When something is in demand, that basically means lots and lots of people want that thing. Let me try and give you a good example of something that might be in demand. This pen, for example. Lots and lots of people all over the world might want to buy a pen like this. So if you are a manufacturer of pens, lots of people want to buy your product. Your product is in demand. Lots of people want your product. Okay? Now we can use in demand as well as describing things like pens. We can actually use this phrase to describe people, a state of being for a person or for people. In particular, let's say famous people. If you're famous or you are a celebrity, people will want to know you. People will want your autograph. And people might want to buy your music or watch your movies. Yeah? So you might find that you are in demand as a person. Yeah? I generally find that I am in demand as an English teacher on Saturday morning. That's when I am in demand. That's when most of my students want my time. Okay? Okay, so to be in favour of something, to be in demand. Now to create the opposite meaning, to create the opposite phrase, in this case we use the word not. We simply add not. So you are in favour or you are not in favour. You are in demand or you are not in demand. Okay? Now there are some other phrases which wouldn't take not, which would just take the opposite of in, which we all know is out. So to be in luck, if you are in luck, then you are a lucky person. In general, yeah, maybe you win the lottery, so you are in luck. If something is in stock, perhaps you want to buy something, maybe a pen, yeah, or something different, and the person or company you are buying this product from, they have them in stock, so they can send them to you straight away. You might want to describe yourself as being in control. I am in control. I am in control of me. Now to create the opposite meaning, we use out, replace in with out. So instead of being in luck, you are out of luck. You've had no luck. Instead of being in stock, you are out of stock, or these pens are out of stock. Instead of being in control, you are out of control. So actually, my mistake, we replace in with out of control. Yeah? So you are out of luck, out of stock, out of control. Okay? So those are some very simple phrases and their negatives. Now, some other phrases which you might be familiar with still would be to, for example, to be in a good mood. I am in a good mood. Yay, I'm happy today. But I can also describe myself as being in a bad mood. Bad mood. Yeah. So the positive and the negative phrase changes its meaning from positive to negative by changing the adjective. Okay? So you're in a good mood or in a bad mood. We don't need to change. We don't need to add a negative, not, and we don't need to change in for out. We just change the adjective, good or bad. Okay, So you can also have something that is in a good or bad condition. So this could be describing a person. Perhaps you've been to hospital, you've been to the doctor, and the doctor says, oh, you are in a good condition. You've had a medical checkup, you are in a good condition. You might be ill, and the doctor says, well, you're in a bad condition. Yeah? Generally though, condition would be used to describe things. Could be your house, could be your car, could be anything you own. Something that is older would generally be in a bad condition unless you look after it. Yeah. If you go to buy a second-hand car, you want to make sure that it's in a good condition before you buy it. Yeah? Makes sense. To be in the wrong or to be in the right. If you are in the wrong, then that is generally accepted that people think you are wrong, or you are not doing the correct thing, you are in the wrong. But if you are in the right, then everyone's happy with what you're doing and saying. Yeah? Okay, so we have the positive and negative versions of these, which is created just by changing the adjectives. Yeah? Rather than adding a negative prefix or changing in for out, we're changing some adjectives. So there are many different ways to create the opposite meanings. And once you know these expressions, it is important to be able to create the opposite negative expressions as well. Yeah, because the negatives are usually just as useful and just as important as the positive descriptions. Right, now we come to some expressions which are generally negative. These are expressions that we generally only use to describe negative situations. Yeah. So for example, to be in difficulty. If you are in difficulty, that means you have problems, you have some issues. It could be a difficulty at work, could be a difficulty at home, could be a difficulty with anything, but it's describing problems, a problem situation. Yeah? So it's a very negative situation. To be in trouble. If you are in trouble, again, a very negative situation to describe. Nobody wants to be in trouble. Just like most of us don't want to be in danger. We don't want people chasing us with sharp knives or sharp sticks trying to hurt us. We don't want to be in danger. Although some people, some adrenaline junkies, like danger. So they will do adventurous sports like skydiving and things like that, where you get this feeling of danger. But generally, danger describes something negative. To be in tears. In tears, tears is the water that comes from your eyes when you are sad or upset or angry. If somebody is in tears, that is describing a very negative thing. To be in a mess. If I am in a mess, that is a very sort of colloquial phrase that just describes a negative situation in general. If somebody is in a mess, there could be difficulties, there could be trouble, there's probably tears. So to describe someone as being in a mess is basically describing someone's whole life or the whole situation in a very negative way. Okay. To be in pain. Who wants to be in pain? Nobody wants to be in pain. Pain, ooh, it hurts. Oh. Yeah? Nobody wants to be in pain. To be in doubt. If you are in doubt about something, that means you're not sure. You know, you're hesitating. Whereas if you had no doubt about something, about a positive thing, you wouldn't hesitate to do that thing. But because you have doubt about something, it's generally negative. Okay? Okay. Finally, I want to talk about this idiom. To be in over your head. to be in over your head, which, if somebody is in over their head, again, this is a negative idiom that is used to describe a general situation when somebody or a group of people, okay, have found themselves in a situation that is outside of their capabilities. It's out of their control, for example. There's probably lots of difficulty, maybe there's trouble, there might be tears, okay? But to be in over your head, if I try and explain what this idiom is literally describing, okay, so here is my head, here is the top of my head. And if you imagine water is rising around me. Slowly, slowly, water is rising around me. And I'm doing this so I can breathe. But eventually the water rises so much that the level of water is over my head. Yeah, the level of water is up here. So the water is literally over my head. Yeah. Now I can swim. I can swim and keep my head above the water. But that's like, that is like a lot of effort and a lot of time, a lot of effort just to keep my head above water so I can breathe. So to be in over your head is kind of describing everything that you're doing is difficult, troublesome, and is causing problems. And just to keep on top of things, just so that you survive on a daily basis, you're constantly swimming to keep your head above the water. Okay? This is a great idiom to help you describe those kind of situations and those people that you might know that have difficulties with their lives. Yep. So this was using in for phrases that describe states of being and situations.